Hello! We're going to spend the day together just like a normal day in my life in London. It's the beginning of the year, trying to get back into routine, just like I'm sure you are as well. And also, if you've seen the title of the video, I have an announcement. But let's get ready because I want to feel a bit more presentable before I go about the rest of my day. The sun is going in and out right now, and I feel like I haven't seen the sun in days. And it's so nice. It feels so nice to just like even get these glimmers of it. Obviously I'm inside and I want to go outside. I want to go to like a cafe, like walk somewhere, but I'm waiting on a parcel and it says it's coming by 9 p.m. And I'm like, can it just arrive here already? Because I don't know. I don't know if I should risk it and just leave, but we'll see. But yeah, I feel like it's just been so gloomy since I got back to London. I was in Chicago for the holidays, which if you're new here, I'm Carla. I'm an American who lives in London and I love it here, but the sun can definitely be a struggle, or the lack of sunlight, I should say. Also, let's move over here to the mirror because I can't actually see what I'm doing. It's also just always like bittersweet to have two homes, which I know like anyone who's a young adult is going to feel that way if you've moved away from home, and especially when you're in a different country, a whole different continent. And yeah, I mean, I love living abroad. I have really grown to love London. Is that too much blush? I don't know. But obviously the adjustment just like of flying somewhere, time difference, saying bye to family, and it all feels like really surreal and confusing, especially with the red-eye flight. Like, oh, by the way, I got a new color of the Etude water tint because I really like the other one that I got, but I feel like it's maybe too red. And my whole point of getting a lip tint was for it to look quite natural. And this one's like obviously quite pink, but I think when it fades, it looks a little bit more natural than the red. And I'm just gonna pluck my eyebrows while it sets in. But anyways, like landing after a long flight where you kind of like go to bed in one continent and wake up in another, and then you're just like straight into London on the tube. Even though I felt really good and I was excited to be home here in London, honestly, I was also like, this is like overwhelming and feels like surreal and like, I don't know, getting all like existential and stuff. So that honestly was not that fun. Luckily, I didn't get sick this holiday season. I feel like every year everyone gets sick around Christmas. So I'm really grateful that I did not get a little cold or flu or anything. But anyways, it's just kind of hard feeling like out of it that first week of January, especially if you've had a few long travel days. But long story short, I'm happy to be back in London and I finally feel like I'm in a better headspace to be getting into a new routine. Oh my gosh, I slept in my contacts last night, which I never do. I used to do that like as a teenager all the time, but I never do it anymore because I learned my lesson. And I feel like I have a tiny sty in one of my eyes. So I'm not gonna put on any eye makeup today, which honestly I probably wouldn't have done anyways because I like never wear eye makeup. I just want to feel a bit more comfortable. So far today I've just done some yoga, like really short yoga session because I haven't worked out in like a week and a half because of Christmas, which was completely intentional. Like I think it's good to have a break. Got some work done on my walking pad, which was so nice. Like I really am so productive on my walking pad, so I need to use it more, and that's a goal of mine like every single month, is that I want to be more consistent with using it. Since then I had some leftovers for lunch, like the easiest meal ever. All right, eyelashes are curled, the lip stain is looking somewhat natural. And I think that's where I'll finish this little makeup session. Okay, it's dark out, but it's not even 5 o'clock yet, so I think we should have a little matcha. Wait, I'm gonna take off my glasses. I'm thinking like a little spiced matcha type of thing, and then I think I want to take a little break to crochet and chat about the move on the couch. It's crochet time, baby. So as the title of this video says, yes, I am moving. And I want to talk about it while I crochet because I feel like moving in the new year, like I'm moving very soon and it's only January 6th. Also January 6th, a very cursed day. Oh wait, I actually finished the body, so we're moving on to the sleeves. So I'm gonna finish off this and cut it off. So moving in this time period, at least for me, feels very like strange and very sudden. So I just want to talk about that a bit and why I'm moving now. Why we're moving now. I live with my boyfriend. So I've been in London since basically 2020, but officially moved here fall 2021. So 3 years since like my official move to London. 4 years if you count, you know, the year before that where I was kind of a nomad in a way. But in those 3 years, this is honestly only the second apartment that I've had, which I feel like is really rare for any big city. So I'm actually quite lucky that I lived in a flat for 1 year, renewed for another year. So that already covered 2 years of those 3 years. And then I moved in here. And finding that first flat was absolute hell. If anyone is curious about moving to London, I can make like a whole how to find a place to rent in London type video. But it's hard. It's hard as a foreigner, especially if you're a student. But I think the same can be said for pretty much any place. But anyways, to make a long story short, finding that first apartment, I was looking not by myself, but to join like existing apartments just in a spare room for ages. And it wasn't until I just paired up with 2 British women who were both like close to my age but no longer studying, they were both working full-time jobs, that we found a flat in literally like a couple of days. So I went from looking for probably like 2.5 months to all of a sudden, once I was looking with 2 British people who had jobs, we found a flat, like I said, within days. And that ended up being the flat that I stayed in for 2 years. But finding this flat was definitely a stroke of luck. I knew a couple who was moving out of their 1-bedroom, but only for a year because they wanted to go traveling. And it just so happened to line up exactly with when my lease was ending. And we asked if we could have it, but with the stipulation that we would give the flat back to them once they were done traveling. And fast forward 1 year later, it's time for us go somewhere else. So something about London is people typically find the flat that they're going to move into max like 4 weeks before, but honestly, typically like 2 weeks before, at least in my experience and from what I hear from tons and tons of people. But we want to start looking early because, again, moving around the new year, I knew I was going to be in Chicago and that I wouldn't necessarily have or want to spend a lot of time doing flat viewings. I feel like you were super high up, sorry about that. And at first, all of the options were just like, they were not looking good, you know, like few and far between, and I knew it was because I was looking way too early, but I was determined, you know, I didn't want to like come back from Christmas and start looking. And eventually we found a place, secured the contract, all of that stuff, and now we are officially moving. I've really enjoyed this flat. I definitely have my qualms about it. Again, nothing that's actually like really negatively impacting our lives, but just stuff that you would rather not be dealing with. Like our shower is actually the bane of my existence. The way like it's either so hot or so cold grinds my gears, and honestly for the most part it's just so hot, which I feel like people usually have the opposite issue where they're like, oh my gosh, my shower's so cold, I have no hot water. Ours is like you can't do anything in between and it's just like boiling hot. I don't like it. Trust me, I don't like a cold shower. I definitely take warm showers, hot showers, but this is just, it's too hot. Like it's not, it's not okay. I'm really excited to hopefully not have to deal with that. I mean, for all I know, the next flat could be the same. It's not like you can take a test shower when you go and view a flat, but here's to hoping that the shower is a bit more normal in terms of the temperature controls. Our kitchen, again, fully functional, but the lighting's bad. There's no drawers in the whole kitchen, which is so bizarre to me. Like, why are there not any drawers? I love drawers. Drawers are definitely superior to cupboards, in my opinion. In my opinion. So all in all, like, these things aren't actual issues. They are very much first world problems. Like it doesn't really matter. I have a roof over my head. I'm all good. But aside from all that, I think that it's just good sometimes to have a little bit of change, to mix things up. And I'm not someone who likes change. I think that's how literally most humans are. That's like one of the facts of life, is that we don't like change. But even I can admit that sometimes it's good to force yourself to have a big change in your life if you're feeling a bit like stagnant and uninspired. My light died, so I'm gonna bring you closer. Cozy vibes. I'm on the second round of the sleeve, and then I think after this I'll like try it on maybe to see when I want to start like decreasing, because I don't want the sleeves to be like tight, but I also don't want like bell sleeves or anything like that. Just like an average sleeve. But I'm excited for the change. I think it'll be good. It'll be nice to like decorate a new space just a little bit, because again, like, it is a rental, but I definitely want to do like maybe an empty apartment tour of this place, maybe one of the next place. Like, it'll be a part of my vlogs because that's what I'm doing. I just thought it'd be good to like acknowledge the fact that I'm moving, tell you that there will be moving vlogs coming up, and just appreciate the space that we're in and that we've been in for the past year. Anyways, I'm gonna keep crocheting and then I'll catch up with you later. Parcel I was waiting for finally arrived, so I'm glad I didn't try and go to a coffee shop. I hope everything's in here, because why is the box so big? To be fair, we're not getting any boxes for moving. We're just gonna make do with what we have. At least I can save this. Oh my gosh. Okay, I got a electric pillow. I've been using my hot water bottle, very British thing. I'm used to growing up in the States. I would use a hot water bottle, like if my tummy hurt, my mom would give me one. So I always associated it with being sick, but then I moved to London and so many people here use it just to stay warm. And I know that's definitely common in other countries as well. I take care of my hot water bottle, like I don't pour it as soon as it's boiling into the rubber hot water bottle, and I also only fill it 2/3 of the way. Like I'm a nerd and I follow the instructions on the thing. And most injuries from hot water bottles probably happen if you like are putting in super freshly boiling water, or if you're overfilling it, or if you've had the hot water bottle for too long, because sometimes it's just because the rubber like degrades. But nonetheless, even with following all of the precautions, you can still have really bad accidents from hot water bottles. And before you comment this, because I'm sure someone will, I was going to get like a wheat bag. Like there are these bags that are filled with wheat and you just microwave them, or they're typically filled with like dried lavender and wheat, or dried lavender and flaxseed, or rice. And I think the rice wouldn't have the issue that I'm about to tell you about, but I don't think rice stays warm that long, so I kind of already ruled that out. And then I was like, all right, a wheat bag or a flaxseed bag. I was really leaning towards that because there's this brand called Warmies, and they have like really cute stuffed animals that you can put in the microwave, which is kind of weird to think about, but alas, they have that brand. And I was about to press purchase on these expensive microwavable stuffed animals, but then I was seeing that people have had problems with mice coming out of the woodwork because they want the flaxseed in these stuffed animals. And I was like, no, not for me. I was just like, let's just go at electricity. I'm excited to use this later. I'm not cold right now, but probably in like a couple of hours I will be. Woo! Fingers, I was losing control. Took a couple months till you knocked on my door. Sat by the sea while the waves fell asleep. Didn't know what I should have let go. Thought I lost my way, but now I am sure. This lighting is interesting in the bathroom. I have my light on, but you still have like the overhead light. But I just wanted to say hi while I do a little face mask. Work is finished. I had my little crochet break, and I think I'm going to crochet more and watch some YouTube. Maybe I'm going to read. And I also want to practice some French tonight because that's one of my like daily habits that I want to have this January that I talked about in like my January plan with me. Spanish and French. So actually today's French night. We try to do every Monday, like we talk in French at dinner. So I feel like maybe today I'll do like some Spanish Duolingo. I think I'll do that while this mask dries. I feel like I probably put on too much, but that's all right. But yeah, today's been a good day and I just want to treat myself to my silk pajamas and a face mask. I talked about this in a vlog before, but I have 2 Clinique face masks and both of them are like unintentionally secondhand. One because my old flatmate said this didn't agree with her skin, and then the other one because my friend was leaving London and she had like tons of stuff, especially skincare, so like I got some leftover things. I don't know.